Hello, viewers. If you are here for the very first time, welcome. And if you are here again, welcome back. My name is Rogue Black, and here is where I make videos, calling out the truth in our political world. Let's move on. JD Vance is a prominent American political figure whose life story reflects themes of hardship, resilience, and social mobility. Born as James Donald Bowman on August 2, 1984, in Middletown, Ohio, Vance's early years were shaped by instability and struggle. His parents divorced when he was young, and his mother battled substance abuse that contributed to serious mental health challenges. As a result, Vance did not experience a traditional or stable childhood environment. Much of the stability he did find came from his grandparents, who played a central role in raising him. They provided structure, discipline, and emotional support during a time when his home life was otherwise turbulent. Throughout his childhood, Vance experienced several name changes, reflecting the instability of his family circumstances, before ultimately adopting Vance, the surname of his grandparents. This choice symbolized both gratitude and a sense of belonging to the people who had anchored his upbringing. After graduating from high school, Vance enlisted in the United States Marine Corps, a decision that marked a turning point in his life. His military service included a deployment to Iraq, where he gained discipline, maturity, and a broader perspective on responsibility and leadership. The Marines helped him develop skills and confidence that would later support his academic and professional success. Following his military service, Vance pursued higher education. He earned a bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy from Ohio State University, excelling academically. He then went on to attend Yale Law School, where he earned his law degree in 2013. While at Yale, he met Usha Chilukuri, who would later become his wife. The couple married in 2014 and went on to have 3 children together. Vance rose to national prominence in 2016 with the publication of his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy, a memoir of a family and culture in crisis. The book explored his childhood and his Appalachian-rooted family background, offering a deeply personal account of poverty, addiction, and cultural decline in parts of rural America. Hillbilly Elegy became a best-selling memoir, sparking widespread discussion and debate about class, culture, and opportunity in the United States.
Our government are looking at this, so yes, there's certainly an investigation that's happening right now.
The memoir was later adapted
but as part of the broader fraud investigation,
After
a lot
years
of what
as a
we're doing with
political
the Department of
commentator and
Justice has
public
already
figure,
started.
Vance
We've got
entered
over
electoral
1,500
politics.
subpoenas. We've
In
got people this
2022,
morning,
he was
actually.
elected as
We're
a
going door
Republican
to door to
senator
actually
from
knock
Ohio,
on some of these
serving from
fraudulent care
January
centers,
3rd,
these fraudulent social
2023
services
to January
organizations. Our
10th,
government are looking at this, so yes, there's
His
certainly
time
an
in the Senate
investigation
marked
that's
his
happening right
transition
now.
from cultural
But
commentator
as
to
part of the
active
broader fraud
policymaker,
investigation, a lot of
solidifying
what we're
his
doing
role
with the
within
Department of
Republican
Justice has
Party.
already started. We've got
Vance's
over
political
1,500
career
subpoenas.
continued
We've
in
got
July
people this morning,
2024,
actually. We're
when
going
President
door to
Donald
door to
Trump
actually knock
selected
on some
him
of these
as the vice
fraudulent care
presidential
centers,
candidate
these fraudulent
for the
social services
2024
organizations.
election.
I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked it.
Do you believe Donald Trump, who always tells the truth? Just kidding. Or do you believe that woman on that tape?
Not stand Trump because I think he's a fraud. Well, I think he's a total fraud that is exploiting these people, who is a total fraud.
There is definitely an element of Donald Trump support that has its basis in racism or xenophobia. I think there's a chance, if I feel like Trump has a really good chance of winning, that I might have to hold my nose and vote for Hillary Clinton. I think that I'm going to vote third party because I can't stomach Trump. I think that he's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place.
That was JD Vance in 2016, criticizing Donald Trump. I hasten to add, anyone can change their political beliefs at any time, but given JD Vance's criticism of Trump in 2016, and then changing his stance in 2021, in support of Trump while running for Senate in Ohio in order to receive Trump's endorsement, which he later did, I am inclined to believe he quote-unquote brown-nosed to Daddy Trump to further advance his political career. Let's move on. Renee Good was a U.S. citizen whose life reflected commitment to family, education, and community. Originally from Colorado Springs, she carried with her the values of service and empathy that would later define how those closest to her remembered her. Renee pursued higher education with a passion for language and expression. She earned a degree in English from Old Dominion University, where her talent for writing was formally recognized when she won a poetry prize. This achievement highlighted not only her academic dedication, but also her ability to articulate emotion, experience, and human connection through words. Her love of literature and creativity remained an important part of her identity. Beyond her academic accomplishments, Renee was first and foremost a mother of 3 children. She lived in Minneapolis with her spouse, building a life centered on care, responsibility, and mutual support. Family life was a core part of who she was, and those who knew her describe her as deeply devoted to her children and home. Friends, relatives, and community members consistently described Renee as kind, compassionate, and engaged. She was known for her involvement in her community and for treating others with empathy and respect. To those who knew her personally, she was not someone with a violent past or a history of harm. This understanding stood in contrast to later assumptions or narratives formed by people who did not know her, including some political commentators who mischaracterized her life and character. On January 7, 2026, Good was killed when an ICE agent fired into her vehicle as she attempted to drive away from a confrontation during an immigration enforcement action in a residential neighborhood in South Minneapolis. Officials have offered conflicting accounts of what led to the shooting, and the circumstances remain a subject of intense scrutiny and debate. Let me say first and foremost, my heart goes out to Good's spouse, their 3 children, and Good's dog, who was in the SUV at the time of the confrontation and fatal shooting. This fatal shooting led to nationwide outrage, including massive protests in Minnesota, New York, Oregon, California, Illinois, Pennsylvania, Georgia, New Mexico, Texas, Colorado, Alabama, Massachusetts, North Carolina, Ohio, Michigan, Mississippi, Iowa, Missouri, Utah, Kentucky, Florida, Washington, Connecticut, Nebraska, Arizona, and Virginia. According to YouGov poll, just days after Good's death, more than 61% of Republicans found the ICE agents' actions justified. 88% of Democrats found it unjustified, and 58% of independents found it unjustified as well. If you were to ask for my opinion, I would say, based on my views of the videos that have surfaced of the confrontation that led to the fatal shooting, the ICE agent was definitely at fault for, in my opinion, the murder of Renee Good. Now, at a time of making a statement as a leader of the free world, to unity this country after the preventable fatal shooting that costed the life of a 37-year-old wife and mother of 3 children, President Donald Trump added salt to the wound when he framed the shooting as self-defense and said the poor woman had run over the ICE agent with her car, which contests of what the videos actually show us. Personally, I'm not surprised by Trump's pathetic assessment, considering this guy, who had the authority to do so, refused to release Epstein files with his name mentioned at least 1,500 times in the documents. Then, when a discharge petition was signed in Congress to release the files, he reached out to Representatives Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, persuading them not to sign the petition, yelling at Greene over the phone that his friends would get hurt. And recently he acted unpresidential when visiting a Ford plant, mouthed "fuck you" a few times, and flipped off a worker after he called Trump a pedophile protector. Can you imagine President Barack Obama acting that way and how outraged the Republicans would be? But let's move on. Clearly, the fish rots from the head, but it would be nice if someone in Trump's cabinet had the condones to call out Trump once again. Vice President JD Vance, I'm looking at you.
Minnesota, the vice president yesterday suggested that Renee Good, who was killed by this ICE officer, was part of a broad left-wing network. What has your team told you about this broad left-wing network? Who is in charge of it? Who's part of it? What's it called?
Well, I haven't seen the vice president's statement, but he's generally very accurate. I hate to say it.
JD Vance, have you no shame? This was a wife and a mother of 3 children and a pet owner. I seriously doubt she was a paid agitator. I mean, damn, man, damn! And JD Vance, how dare you? How dare you? You have a wife and 3 children. Would you have disrespected and denounced the mother of your children had she been a Renee Good?